Yo, guys, welcome back. Sorry for the lack of content. I unfortunately been sick with a sinus infection. I'm feeling a bit better finally, so here we are. Although this is a mid-season review, a lot of this will also be about the overall state of the game. We are at the halfway point for Season 3 when it comes to content, so I finally feel like the timing is right to talk about the game. We did a video similar to this back in July, which for the most part is still very relevant, unfortunately, so I will also link that in the description. I'd like to give a little backstory about me before we start, just in case you are new to the channel or my content. I am a content creator for the first Descendant, but I also enjoy playing this game. I have 4,000 hours on the game. When I started making YouTube videos in August of 2024, it was because of the first Descendant. When I quit my job in November of 2024 to full-time stream on Twitch, it was because of the first Descendant. I've seen great success on both YouTube and Twitch because of this game. There was a point after Season 3 was released, I was ranked in the top 2,000 streamers on Twitch, something most can only dream about in their first year streaming, but things like that come and go with the success or failures of the game. So understand, I want this game to succeed and be better. So I do want to start out with my thoughts before we get into the good, the bad, and the ideas to help the game. As important as the new player experience is, I think for once the devs need to focus on what they have, and that is a very dedicated fan base for the game, and I think this base is actually very large, and when they learn to appeal to these players, the game will see a substantial rise in player count. The best way for this game to succeed is word of mouth. We see this recently with a game like Mega Bonk. Barely any marketing, no big name AAA studio, make a good game with good content, and word of mouth will spread. Your loyal fan base will tell their friends about it, content creators will tell their communities about it. To me, one of the biggest failures of Season 3 was their efforts towards bringing in new players with a pass to rush to Endgame, which, as most of us know, Endgame is just lackluster, and they're skipping the first 200 hours of the game, which is probably one of the best parts of the game. Currently, I think the first Descendant is at a point where many people have come, experienced the game, most got all the loot leveled, MR, done, made endgame builds, but they discover shortly there's nothing else to do, and to me, that is who the developers need to appeal to. We have OP Descendants, OP weapons, tons of builds, but we need content and a variety of content. Although the monthly updates are nice, most of the time they lack content. This to me is troubling. People are only going to give the game so many chances, so when you pull them back onto the game with a mediocre update, eventually they will stop coming back. It's like going back to your toxic ex over and over. Eventually you will learn and be done with it. Two recent examples were the lounge update and now the sword update. Overall, two failures. These types of things should be looped in with major updates that provide actual content. The monthly update cycle is just not working, and I would suggest doing a major update every 2 months. But here might actually be the problem with that. When you cut out the monthly update, I think this will expose the insane fact that the game receives 2 updates a month for skins that sometimes cost to around $200 a month. It's easy to hide this behind a monthly content update, but when you move the updates to once every 2 months, this constant skin update method may turn off a lot of the player base if it hasn't already. I love skins just like everyone else, but when the game is not doing well and lacks content, seeing a skin update is just a major turnoff. Overall, I think the game is in a great place. The balance has improved a lot. Majority of the Descendants have improved. The quality of life in the game is in a very good place. Not perfect, but no game is. So if there's one message that I can get to the developers, it would be this. Focus on your player base and what they want. Show some fan service and just make content. New game modes, weapons, Descendants, be creative, take risks, test new ideas. Give us a chance to test those new ideas. Everything is in place for this game to succeed, but without fun, engaging, rewarding content, it will never happen. So with the overall state of the game out of the way, let's get into the good and the bad of Season 3, and then we will talk about ideas that will help improve the game, and not just about Season 3, just overall improvement of the game. So, good. Nell and Luna. As always, if they do one thing great, it is new Descendants and Ultimate Descendants. They almost never miss with either, and it's to the point I won't even doubt when a Descendant is coming that it'll be well done. Nell was a great addition to the game, and she paired well against Stormhanger, the Colossus at the time, and then Ultimate Luna came in. Although both of her Transcendent mods are not amazing, Her skill kit is top tier, and for a while it was a bit broken, but even without that, one of the better Descendants in the game now. Wally. Although this isn't some insane raid with amazing mechanics, it is nice to see a step in the right direction when it comes to co-op for a Colossus fight. Something this game lacks for some reason and should be striving for more. So not the best 8-man raid, no demand, but still a step in the right direction for future co-op Colossus fights. Recent balance improvements. Now, hear me out. Overall, this game, when it comes to Descendants, especially with the recent buffs, is pretty balanced. Yes, Serena is still the GOAT, but when you look past her, in my opinion, the overall balance is better than it has been in a long time. Lepping and Kyle got a lot of love, and then we have seen Bunny get multiple buffs, definitely up her stock in the game. Will they ever get to Serena's level? Who knows, but overall, the balance is heading in a fine direction, in my opinion. Trigger mods and mutant cells. So I have been one in the past to say, please stop with the power and the systems. But overall, I think the additions of mutant cells and trigger mods have been good for the game, bringing a lot of different changes to meta builds and playstyles. And really, the majority of the first Descendant is about builds. Stormhanger and Lava Citadel. Overall, from where we were with the Abyss Colossus, when it comes to gameplay, these two are going in the right direction compared to the previous Abyss Colossus we were getting. Not weird gimmick mechanic like we had in Ice Maiden, no 1-second kills like Tormentor, so overall an improvement in my eyes. I've actually had fun running these, unlike the route we were going down with Ice Maiden. And then reactor changers, probably something that should have never existed in the game, was the mounting system. Happy to see it gone. It was a burden to everyone, new and veteran players, so thank you for getting rid of that. Okay, so unfortunately we do have to talk about the bad. And to me, I'm going to start out with the worst thing possible, and that's going to be the paid sword pass. I can go down a really deep, long road here, but I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. This needs to be a free extension of the current battle pass. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Why? It looks bad. The game is honestly in a pretty dry state. We get a ton of paid skins every 2 weeks. This is called community goodwill, and a good tactic to get Timmy, who's playing another game, back on the first Descendant to check things out. You're more likely to get some people back on the game with a free sword pass instead of, hey, come play TFD. Oh, by the way, we need 20 bucks. Thanks. Axiom Plains. Boring, dead, empty, big, no color, no life. Overall, outside of the horrible performance issues, almost everything about the map is bad. Why? Well, it suffers from a large problem this game has had since day one with its maps. Nothing is happening on the map until you walk over and hit the beacon to start the quest. It's like they're scared to take risks. Open world Colossus, but they only spawn once an hour. Make them spawn every 10 minutes. Slap them right in the middle of a mission. Add to this the horrible grind for rewards of basically run the same mission for 2 hours because it's only worth running the missions with bonus rewards. And we are now in one mission simulator. Rewards. So on that topic, the reward structure is bad in Axion, and then bad in the new Void Vessel. Add to that the lack of overall unique rewards the game has, and you just grind the same mission on repeat. Well, let the complaining begin. Weapons. In a total, since August 7th, when Season 3 launched, we have received 4 new weapons in the game. All 4 weapons are disappointments. This is a looter shooter. Where are all the weapons? And why the ones we get suck? So let's get into some ideas. My first is stop locking away content and use assets already in the game. Please add the old Abyss Colossus on a weekly rotator and add those skins from the Colossus to ETA for that weekend. Literally the freest content possible. Next, Spec Ops. Why when I open the Spec Ops menu, I only have the option of 2 maps at all times that rotate to a different 2 maps every 2 months. Just keep them all there. Add more. Advance on the content. It's basically a horde mode sitting in your lap. Up the difficulty, add more rewards, modifiers. For the love of God, please do something. Why do we not have 800%, 1200% dungeons, new modifiers, turn outposts into something endgame players will want? Just do it. Why is nobody working on this? Better events. The Halloween event is here, and I will say Albion looks so fucking good. But that's it. Why not add a game mode? We can queue from where Albion turns into an instance, and we have to fight our way through it. And at the end, there's a chest with loot. or a currency we can use at a shop, or take the 400% dungeons, make them spooky with a currency dropping we can use at a shop. The events are improving, but they should always involve playing the game. Weekend events, double XP, double gold, double cores, double Kuiper, so on. I'm not sure why this doesn't exist yet. I've mentioned this in my previous 2 videos about the state of the game. Still nothing. A universal trade vendor that is always in Albion. Again, something I brought up in my last state of the game video. We need a vendor to trade in this loot that we no longer need, and now we have even more of it with the changes to our amorphous materials. Trade in useless items we will never need. Get currency in return. We can buy catalysts, activators, gold, Kuiper, Legos, cores, so on. Now you're getting me in a halfway decent gameplay loop that I feel like no matter what I'm doing in the game, I'm earning something I need or want. Crafting limits. Remove the crafting limit. I don't know how many times everyone needs to say this, but the crafting limit is just a turnoff for everyone. If Warframe doesn't have a crafting limit, then why does the first Descendant? All right, and that covers everything for my mid-season review and just overall state of the game. Please feel free to share your opinions in the comments, and hopefully this video and those comments make it to the right place. Like and subscribe is appreciated. Thanks, guys. Peace.